The indoor arena was opened the end of October, 1st of December, or 1st of November. And since then, we have had 53 paid events. That means somebody has registered the facility for a day, at least a day, if not 2 or 3 days. So we've had 53 paid events with 4,150 registered participants. Those are participants that actually participated in whatever it was. That doesn't include the families and friends and everybody else that it brings to the community. Some of those events that we've had include team roping, barrel racing, team penning, and I don't know what all of these are, so if it was horticulture events, I'd be okay. Team penning, mounted western shooters, adult horse shows, 4-H youth horse shows, dog shows, community Christmas events, livestock shows. And then we're starting something new that I wanted to make everybody aware of that I've talked about before we built the indoor arena, and that was developing an equine assistance service program. So we now have somebody hired on site and we have 2 mini ponies, and we're in the process of getting some horses. So the equine assisted services, that is where we use horses and ponies to help those with traumatic experiences, who have depression, veterans, whatever it be. And so we're in the process, and that was one of the main goals that I had, was to get that program up and running for people who need that type of thing. So it's really cool to be able to see that happening and seeing us getting a program going to assist those who need some assistance. We had a pretty successful Art in the Arboretum in the spring, and right now what we've got going on is we've got Tai Chi in the garden, we've got yoga in the garden. You ought to come. I don't, but you ought to come. No, I watch. We had a lot of people coming asking us, we have our edible demonstration area where we have about close to 100 different fruit trees, different types of varieties and everything, and then we have all kinds of berries and vegetables and stuff, and our goal is to educate people on what's available and what they can grow in their own yard, especially as we look at some of the food security issues that are coming up. So on Wednesday nights, we have what we call this taste tour in Tada, where people can come and sample all the different fruits we have, the different peaches that are on, right now it's peaches, but then the apples will be on, the raspberries we've done, currants, gooseberries. And we hope that we can continue it, because what it does is it also gives people a chance to come and ask us questions, those who are just starting to garden, learning how to garden, want to grow more, want to know what to grow, and those types of things. We're going to do the scarecrow walk again. I talked to you, Mayor, about the youth having a scarecrow, and we're getting others. I'd much rather have youth have scarecrows than anybody else, because it's just fun to watch them and be creative, but it also brings their family and friends in. And then this year, the one new thing we're going to try is something that tentatively we're calling Reindeer Express on December 14th, where we'll have hopefully a reindeer. If not, I'm going to put some horns on a cow that we have. No, we're going to trying to get a reindeer and some animals and have a Santa Claus and a few other holiday things
That'd be great.
on a Saturday in December. That's kind of some of the major things we've got going on right now, plus a couple of new gardens. If you've driven down 50 West, you've seen our new what we call our Rasmussen garden, because of one of the donors. And I work with Colorado State University with trialing different plants. So we find, we go up in the mountains, and one of our goals is to develop better perennials for the landscape that are colorful, that are drought tolerant, and that can grow in our area. And to date, we've introduced 5 into the nursery industry, and Colorado State's introduced a lot more than that. But we're working with them in some trials. And so the Rasmussen Garden right along 50 West will have a lot of those plants in there, hoping that we can show people the beautiful plants that are native. When I say native, that's the Intermountain area, this whole basin area, not just Utah, because plants don't understand state lines very well. So just kind of the Great Basin area. And the Rasmussen Garden will show a lot of those drier plants that we're working with and that we're developing. So that'll be kind of fun. Questions do you have for me?
I have a question. Wednesday nights, do people need to sign up for the tasting
No, it's free.
tour?
It's free.
What time does it start?
It goes from 6:30 to 8, and we
Okay.
usually have a local band that performs for an hour. I don't know if you're familiar with Class Act with Amy Alford and can't remember his name, but the Hills
Wednesday.
Singers. Anyway,
Yeah,
that only goes from 7 to 8, and then we shut it down at 8.
Okay, so it starts at 6:30 though.
6:30 to 8. Yeah.
Okay.
Come by, sample, get a tour of the garden if you'd like.
Yeah, that sounds great. Anyone else? Councilmember Blackham.
So Jerry, just to help me out, because it's been around, I used to see a lot of stuff over there. But what I'm trying to find out was, that's yours all the way from Main Street clear to the freeway, right? Utah State's.
It is.
And did not they used to, as I recall, I remember a lot of times that students that were, doing their agriculture stuff up at Utah State would come down here with their senior projects or whatever, and they would work over there, like if it meant growing a new tree or doing something. I mean, there was apples over there one time that was that big around because those students were trying things and doing different things. Do they still do that over there?
Yes and no. Yes, we have that 50 acres from Main Street to, there's a fence that divides our property, and then the Botanical Center has 100 acres to the freeway, basically. And the research farm does do a lot, still does a lot of that research. We're more demonstration, where we take the information that they have at the research farm when they develop that apple or Utah cherries or whatever it is. And then once it's successful, we bring it down into our demonstration garden to show the public and have them come and taste it and see what they think. And that's kind of how it works. We also have, and we had lunch for them because they're moving on, but we also have interns that come down from not just Utah State. Yes, this year we had one from Brigham Young, and we've had them from UVU and others that'll come and spend the summer with us and then bring their ideas into our program. Does that kind of answer the...
Yeah, I just didn't know if they were still doing their graduate students or whatever,
Yeah,
do their
and-
thesis down there or whatever they're working on. I mean, they were trying pesticides, they were doing
Yep,
all kinds of
and they-
things down there.
And they still do that on that
Okay.
50 acres by Main Street. They have fenced it off so that it's just...
Just them separately?
There's a gate, yeah,
Okay.
because we had people who were coming in and harvesting our research, which really screws your research up.
So,
yeah.
do you guys actually, the two greenhouses, do you guys
Yeah,
run?
those are ours.
Those
That's
are yours, the
botanical.
greenhouses are yours, and then the building on Seagull Lily, that's also available to the public, is it not? Somewhat, like if the city has an event or something, they can
Yeah, just call me.
schedule something?
We're a little leery, so yes, to answer your question, to a degree.
Okay.
Because it's a
Okay.
university facility, they're kind of,
Sure.
they do have limits on what they can and can't do, but yeah.
I just know that when I was working for the city, if there was a conflict with this room in here, I
Oh, yeah.
contacted you guys before, and you were more than gracious to say, yeah, bring your people down here,
Yeah.
and you can use the room down here.
If it's available, you bet, anytime, yeah.
Well, thank you for what you do. It's a neat facility.
We're hoping it adds to the community, so.
Very much.
Councilmember Jackson.
Yeah, thank you for coming here tonight and presenting to us. I'm very happy about the 5 new colors and perennial flowers and plants. I'm a gardener myself, and it seems like the majority of perennials that you buy in our local nurseries are usually shades of purple and pinks. And so I'm looking forward to seeing the new colors. Quick question. I noticed that UDOT is putting a sound barrier south along I-15. Has there been any discussion between Utah State and UDOT? Because it's such a pretty area in that pond. There's a lot of wildlife, birds and frogs, and it's very disruptive and loud, the freeway.
Yeah, it is.
And I think it would
agree.
help enhance the area.
So this is a kind of a touchy subject to some people. We built the berm, and it'll help. But the problem with the berm is it ends about when the ponds begin. And so you get all that noise off the freeway. About 10 years ago, UDOT did approach us when they expanded the road one more lane. At that point, the university, and this is, I don't get to make all the calls, but the university decided the exposure was better than the sound wall. So I can go back. I'm willing to talk to him because I would love to have that a little quieter.
Yeah.
It would just be so much nicer to be able to sit and fish and watch birds and yeah. But at that point, there are some decisions that are beyond my pay grade.
Well, that would be nice. And even if they didn't take the sound wall all the way up, because you could utilize that berm, but just partially, that would be very nice and would love to see that.
I would be happy to approach it again. I'm tenured. They can't fire me really, so they can yell at me,
Sure.
which they do, but you know, so do my neighbors, so we're good.
Well, thank you.
I'll approach that. I'll present something to you.
If there's anything we can do to support that approach, let us know.
So, Mayor?
You all are
Oh,
great.
Councilmember Oaks.
No, Jerry, can you help me with my spider mites on my golden raspberries?
I can actually.
All right.
So you just got to come talk
I
to me.
yeah, I might come by.
Yeah, come by, you bet. And this has been a bad year for mites with the
Yeah,
heat. They love hot, dry areas. Yeah,
And they love my raspberries.
and and we've hit them. We've got them too. So it's not just you. They'll attack any of them. So
Actually,
Thank you.
another
Anyone else?
question.
Oh,
Another
go ahead,
question.
Councilmember Jackson.
Well, thank you, Councilmember Oaks, because I have a lot of grasshoppers, and I have spent so much time in my yard trying to annihilate them. Curious if you have any suggestions.
no good ones, but you know there are some new baits coming out that they're using, like in Tooele. So I have a colleague in Box Elder, obviously throughout the state, and we get together occasionally. And I did talk to them because they have a much more severe case than I've got a colleague in about Fremont and whose garden was just wiped out. So he is trying some different products, but usually what has to happen is it has to be a community event. So one parcel of land doesn't, I mean, grasshoppers move. And so really to do a good control measure on a grasshopper population, you need to do it as a community. You need to look at the vacant lots, where they overwinter. Mm-hmm. But what we have found normally is one piece or one lot, 1 acre or 2, it might kill those that are there today, but then everybody comes to their funeral the next couple of days and you're right back where you were. So
Right.
Normally we look at a larger scale. Can we have a community start to, maybe in the fall run a tiller through open lots to get the eggs up and different things like that. Okay. Sorry, I don't have a great answer for you.
Seagulls.
Seagulls.
Seagulls work.
Well, my prayers will never do that. So.
Thank you. Anyone
good?
else? No. Okay.
Well, thanks for listening.
We do want everyone to remember, Jerry was our 2024 unsung hero for Kaysville City because of all of the things that he's done. He's a Kaysville resident, as he mentioned. He's also spent years and years creating a wonderful facility at USU.
I would hope that more people use it, and that's why we do it, and still have people in Kaysville say, we have a botanical garden? Or
Right. People we need to stop by. We need to look on your website. That's probably where you update it all, right? Okay. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Appreciate
Sherry. Thank you. Okay. Conflicts of interest, anything? Nope. Okay, would someone like to make a motion regarding the minutes? For consent item 5.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from the July 18th, 2024 council meeting.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Oaks.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Hunt. Councilmember Adams.
Aye.
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 Okay, motion carries. Thank you. All right, now we'll go to our work item number 6. I'll give you a brief update of where we are so far as our August 1st deadline of our winter response plan or Code Blue response plan. So Kaysville we are part of the task force. We are so grateful, first off, to the collaboration of the other members of the task force. City Manager Jason, he's created a lot of momentum and done a lot of research to find out about the warming bus. We realized this warming bus could be a great idea. We push the plan forward. We were able to get the approval of the task force members, all of them, to vote unanimously to support the bus idea. So the bus was submitted to the state as an August 1st deadline approached as the plan for Davis County. On August 6th, we had an opportunity. We reached out as a city and just said, hey, as a task force, we'd love to come meet with you, State of Department of Homeless Services. Are you interested at all in the bus idea? And so we had the opportunity. We invited the task force members. Mayor Harris from Bountiful was able to join us. Jason and I went down and met with the Homeless Services Department. And we said, okay, here's what we found out about the bus. You know, it's a wonderful thing. We were able to put eyes on it, able to get more information. Is this something that the state could consider? And the response was yes, the state could definitely consider it. So we submitted our plan on August 1st. The state had until August 14th to reply. They sent a letter on August 7th that said, okay, task force, great job, you know, you submitted your plan on time, that was great. However, there's a funding gap because the plan included the plan to submit the bus idea, but we said, okay, state, now we need you to fund it. We need about $150,000, $200,000 to purchase the bus, and then we need some ongoing funding for the maintenance of the bus through the Code Blue season that's upcoming. And so the state said, okay, we're not sure what we're going to do as far as funding goes. So when we met with the State Department on August 6th, the day before the letter was released, we were told, look, we like the bus idea. We need to discuss it some more. So we're going to reach out to the task force and we're going to say, let's set up a meeting and discuss next steps. So they did respond with a letter that said, yes, the plan is non-compliant because we lacked funding for it because there was a gap. But they said that they would have continued conversations with us. And so we're waiting for those continued conversations. I don't have anything more to report at this point in time. I do want to emphasize the importance of the gratitude we feel, though, to the task force because we were able to collaborate, come together, and be able to all support that idea. So we're happy as far as that goes. That's where we're at. We're just waiting to find out, next steps, and I don't have any additional information yet to share, but that's where we're at. Any comments?
What was it like?
We did. So my husband and I were with his family on a trip, and so we drove from Miami to Vero Beach. It was about 2.5 hours, and then we were able to fly home out of Orlando. So it kind of worked out. The timing worked out. We were able to meet with the mayor of Vero Beach, wonderful man. On Monday, I said, hey, we're going to be in Miami. We're going to be in Florida. Can we stop by? And so he arranged everything to happen for us on Friday of that same week. So we were able to go down. We met with the company that creates the bus. It's a nonprofit group. They're called The One, or The Source is what they're called. And so they actually build out the buses. So they go and they buy these retired tour buses, right? Jason, will you fill in the gaps, or you have all the details? Okay. So we were able to go down, meet with them. We were able to see it. It was incredible. 20 beds in these touring buses. They're beautiful. They're nice. They're clean. They're maintained. They smell great. They're very clean. They're able to spray them out, clean them out. They have a toilet on them. And it was really neat to be able to actually see for ourselves, is this a good idea? Because, money is money and nobody wants to waste it. And so we just wanted to make sure that it was real and it was legitimate and feel good about it. So felt good about the opportunity to see that. And then Jason did a lot of research, and I'll turn the mic over to you.
Mayor, I think you covered it really well. It's great to see the task force collaborate so well, and I think come up with a great recommendation for the state. So hopefully, see where it goes from here.
Yeah, we'll see. Thank you. Our plan checked the boxes that were necessary. The requirement was 16 beds. The bus has 20. So we're just going to wait and see next steps, and we'll update you from there. Anyone else? Councilmember Oaks.
Okay, so I guess I got a little. So the state gives us an unfunded mandate with no tax dollars, and then they say, where's your money to pay for this thing that we're not giving you any money for, but you have to do anyways?
Yes.
You
Yes.
could write up on that.
Yeah, it seems like an easy response, give us money and we'll make this happen.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Councilmember
Yeah, and
Jackson.
I guess to that point, the very beginning of this process, it was pretty rocky. And I applaud you, Mayor, and Jason, and Councilmember Blackham for the great idea, for really working through this kind of messy process at times, educational process. And so to your question, Councilmember Oaks, I'm hoping that this can be a process with the state, that now that we've put forward an awesome plan, we can educate the state and hopefully get some of that funding. So I'm very optimistic about it. Thank you for the whole council and mayor.
Well, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Any other comments, questions? No? Okay. After the meeting, you sure can. Okay, thank you, everyone. So now we'll turn over the time to council member reports. Does anyone have anything they'd like to update us on?
I do one thing.
Yes, Councilmember Blackham.
There have been a lot of positive West Nile pools down in the mosquito pools. I mean, mosquito abatement, Davis County, they collect pools of mosquitoes at night, and then they take them in and they test them, and there is a lot of West Nile virus right now in the area, so it's always good to put a lot of mosquito repellent on, but no human cases yet, but they will follow. It's kind of been but there are a lot of positive pools right now.
Why is that? Do they know?
You tell me how that thing can freeze itself solid out west and thaw out in the spring and still be alive. I don't know. I wish I could answer that. I don't know why. I mean, they try, they spray, they've done such a good job. I mean, Gary down here at the Davis County Mosquito Abatement is just an awesome manager, and he stays up on everything, and he tries so hard. I mean, they've got this new drone that they use so they can treat smaller places. You don't get into these areas that are closely, that are more residentials live around and that, and so they can't bring the plane close to houses. And so they've been able to get the drones and take the drones and treat these smaller 1 and 2 and 3 acres. But the closest one I know, there was some positive pools down here in some of the old properties out west Kaysville here, and then they got some positive stuff down at the Farmington Path and that. But no human cases yet, but people need to be aware. It's a dusk and dawn biter. Wear sleeves, just to be aware, because it's a nasty disease. But it's out there, and
Mike,
people need to know.
Have they noticed any changes? Maybe you don't know this, but any changes since the freeway?
I can't say that they do. I mean, I can't. I mean, in the board meetings we talk about, they haven't noticed any changes. What you notice is the more urban sprawl that goes out west, the more people become aware, and the more complaints you get, and the more treating you have to do. I mean, that used to all be marshland out west, and people weren't there, and so, but now we're moving further west and getting into it. It used to be that, as we all played church ball younger, the West Bountiful Ball Diamonds were the worst place you could go, but now there's a lot of places that were like that. But, yeah.
Right. Thank you so much. Anyone else? Nope. Okay. All right. Jason.
Just 2 items, Mayor. First, we had a meeting earlier this week with the City of Bountiful about the dispatch agreement that we've come to. So, as you might remember, a couple months ago, the council approved an agreement to switch our dispatch from Davis County to Bountiful, and we're just really pleased with the way that's going. All the cities that are involved in that, basically every city from Kaysville down to the southern border of Davis County are all together on this as one consolidated dispatch group. And that's just, that process is going well, but just wanted to let you know that that's still in the works, and effective January 1, when somebody makes a 911 call, that'll go to Bountiful rather than the county, but it'll be a seamless transition. They went through this a couple of years ago with Centerville, went really well. We're really pleased with the way they've handled things, so wanted to report on that. And then on another note, a fun note, I guess, you might recall that the Kaysville Creamery won the best float or best entry in the parade. So they are going to be presented with a trophy. It'll be a traveling trophy, but each business or entry that gets it for the year gets to display it and take that pride. So we'll do a little photo op. Anyone that would like to come by, we're going to do it at the Kaysville Creamery at 3:20 on Monday.
Oh, Monday.
So,
okay.
Probably a little photo for the hometown post or something.
They could probably go a long way of ensuring they won it again on Monday. just saying.
That's a good. I think they are giving out some ice cream. Good point. But yeah, great float with. If you've seen the Ferris Bueller movie, they had the recreation of that float. So that was a lot of fun. That's all though.
Okay, thank you. I forgot about one thing. Spoke to the Youth City Council tonight. We're going to launch a little contest. It's going to be called Why I Love Kaysville. It'll be a little video contest that we're hoping that the high schoolers, junior high school, anyone in the community actually can participate in. And people are going to, the Youth City Council, they're going to create a graphic, and then we'll post it for the little contest, and then the City Council will be the judges. And so they're going to put together a 1 to 3 minute video, why they love Kaysville, and it will feature different areas in Kaysville, different sites, and then we'll have a contest. So it'll be fun. The contest will launch probably here in the next couple of weeks, and then it will end November 15th, and then we'll be able to display those videos and show them. So, okay. Thank you, everyone. All right, would someone like to make a motion to move into a closed session?
I'll make that motion. I'll make a motion that we move into a closed session.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you. All right, we'll do that now. Thanks, everybody. Jill? Yeah. Yeah, I have it.
Have we had no Westfile this year, but have we had much in the past year?
Well, we've had a lot of West Nile as far as.
You guys coming?
Yeah.
But we've had very little.
Very few human.
We've had about 8 human cases total, like